Yeah, I don't remember that being great, but I don't remember what it did. So Halucha basically, I think the attack of Halucha wasn't great, but the ability is like 30 plus against VMAX.
Something like, yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be that good for long, because obviously now with V-Star coming in, people might go into that more, but so VMAX might get like I mean, I guess it helps to get the new cards a bit more play, to give hate against the old stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. I can. Yeah. What you were saying,
Yeah.
I is getting, my guy.
They're definitely starting, like, it's weird, it's not weird, but like it's interesting that they like immediately would start to throw out like a lot of stuff to hurt the old meta, yeah, quite a lot.
I think they're just trying to fucking break their own fucking stupidity of making Turbo Mew so goddamn powerful.
Yeah, I guess they didn't like see coming how bad that deck would be.
I don't know how you don't see it coming when you're the company making the goddamn cards.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Just
so
because.
short-sighted.
Yeah, I mean, it's so here's the thing, right? With how Pokemon and the structure of how they make cards works. Pokemon is obviously, the cards are being designed in Japan, obviously. The Japanese format is very different than the current one, than the one we have. First of all, they have more cards from the older sets. Their rotation works different.
Yeah, because I guessed as much because of like the way they have their sets versus the way we have ours. But
yeah,
it's
so there's like more older stuff. So Mew might be like more balanced in that format, and but I'm not sure about that, if that's right. The most important part is they are just doing best of one. They don't really do best of threes.
So it's one shot and that's your chance.
Yes. So what happens a lot is that they would release stuff like stall cards and stuff like that, like stuff for stall decks, and wouldn't realize how bad this is, because in the best of one you don't really want to play for deck out. But in a best of three, that's like a proper win condition.
Yeah.
Because in a best of three, you need to finish one game. And when you win that by deck out or by whatever the hell, you can just sit out the second one and you win. That's obviously not really an option in best of one. So that's not an issue. That's not of an issue in Japan. I think I lost my shit. Well, whatever. So.
You see, card game companies often underestimate the ability of people to do things with cards the cards were not originally intended to do. Yeah, it's tale as old as time with like video games as a general concept, let alone card games.
Yeah, that's true. But like, Alpha, I do get what you're saying generally, but I think in this instance specifically, Mew, that doesn't count, because everything that's happening with Mew is like cards that came out in the set. Like, there's no like combination with old stuff that makes it extremely powerful. At least I can't. No, it's just the Genesect, and that's also from the new set. So it's not like they. Yeah, it's not like somebody found an obscure old card to make it work. It's like, oh, this is all basically in the same set. This is all same thing.
I did see a funny meme though of like it was the stupid fucking Incredibles face that I fucking hate. But it was like, Turbo Mew current best in format. And everyone was like, oh yeah, then we get this card back and this card back. And then everyone was like, oh fuck, Turbo Mew with these cards. So I was like, yep, good. I'm glad they're making the powerful deck more powerful. But, you know, Murder and I single-handedly are working on defeating the Mews, so it's okay.
Wow. I mean, to be...
oh my god,
don't like this game. Yeah, so mostly, I think most of the cards do work more against Mew than they help it, which is a bit reassuring.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah. Also, obviously, like, what Alpha is probably getting at with saying that Mew was on purpose, obviously you want to have strong cards in the decks, so they sell.
Yeah.
And Mew and Genesect, like that's a complete just a seller. You just sell so many displays with that. Because obviously you have pretty much all the things you need, like all the fusion stuff in there. You don't need, like, you can basically, if you now buy a Fusion Strike display or like 2 or 3, you could just start. Like, you don't need many other things for a good deck, and you have a good deck. Like, you can start with Fusion Strike.
Booster box. I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, but what I'm saying is, like, you don't need that much stuff from all the sets. That's what I mean.
Right? You're saying within the list of Fusion Strike, you could probably make a pretty good deck.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a good Mew deck. Obviously, you need like Marnie and stuff, but those are easy to get nowadays.
Hey,
so,
don't use call Marnie easy.
Babe, she's 12.
That's why I said don't call her easy, brother. What's wrong with you?
You see the Chidunga. Yeah. Pokemon is a business. We'll see where it goes. Like, I'm not sure if maybe we'll not see any. I feel like it's gonna be a case of, okay, there's gonna be like a lot of VMAX hate, and there's gonna be when the new set comes out. With
sorry, Alpha did say I think VMAX is sticking around for a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, I do know. So I think what's gonna happen, right, is that when it comes out, and maybe on the first tournament, there's gonna be a lot of like VMAX hate with like choice bands and stuff like that, and then it's gonna die down because people stop playing VMAXs for a bit, and then it's gonna go. Then VMAXs come back, and then it's gonna be a bit back and forth, you know. But it depends, like how much the 30 really matter. In a lot of decks, they might not. Like for a lot of decks, they might not matter. For some decks, they do matter. For Ice Rider, at least my friend said for Ice Rider, it's gonna matter quite a bit. It's gonna be really good. I mean, it could be far worse. We still have a long way for Pokemon to go before it hits Yu-Gi-Oh! Level of format degeneracy.
I saw they released a new free-to-play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, can I get into 2-card games at once?
I mean, I heard good things about the new Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I've heard like nothing negative, which is nice because usually the first thing I hear is Konami released a new game and it's dog shit. I don't know if it is Konami, so I'm talking like my arsehole.
I
can imagine
do you
they
know
own the license.
Master Duel is that the one?
Something of the Jewel, or Touch My Jewel, or I've got a big jewel. Can I look at yours? I have no idea what it was.
Yeah, it's Master Duel.
Master Duel. I love Master Duel.
It seems to be Konami.
I mean, they own the license. I'd be surprised if it isn't.
I mean, they could have just outsourced it.
Yeah, but they still would have wanted to publish it themselves. Their name will still be on the box.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, published definitely, but like I meant the
developers.
Yeah, apparently they made it themselves. Developers Konami. Because like the Pokemon TCGs, they just like put that to another team. They never touched that themselves.
I can imagine.
Pokemon and the TCG stuff is a weird combination anyway, because they are not because they're like, it has nothing to do with Game Freak. It's like the whole license of Pokemon is really weird in comparison to, let's say, Yu-Gi-Oh! Because in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just, okay, Konami, it's just the card games, and the card game, it belongs to Konami, and they make like video games as well. For Pokemon, what?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, for Pokemon, I think the license of Pokemon belongs to the Pokemon Company International, TPCI, which I like to call.
That's who I usually see like on copyrighted things, yeah.
Yeah, so they own the license. Game Freak make the mainline games, and they have some sort, or like TPCI has some sort of like exclusivity deal with Nintendo. But the card game, that has nothing to do with Game Freak at all. I don't even think they made the card game for the Game Boy back then. I don't think I'm not sure who made that. I need to check. Yeah, so they have nothing to do with that, and TPCI doesn't really do much about like organized play. They started to do a bit more now. They start to care a bit more the last 2 years, or 3 years, I guess, and then haha, Corona. But one thing I'm gonna tell you in another project we talked about is that TPCI doesn't organize tournaments. They give that, at least not in Europe. I don't know if they do in America, but I doubt it. In Europe, there's like independent companies that organize these tournaments, and they do it like they basically just get a license to do it. And it's more like they don't really earn much from it, so they don't give a shit about it. It's just advertisement, pretty much. But they do get to like use it for social media stuff and advertise the streams and stuff like that. But most of the times they don't really do much for it. They obviously give like out like banners for the to decorate the stadiums and stuff like that.
Banners.
Yeah, pretty cute.
Oh, speaking of things and stuff, regionals. I looked into when Germany's was because I thought, isn't it like April? That's the internationals. The regionals is in May apparently.
Yeah.
So I have more time than I expected because I was looking at passports and stuff like that today, and I was like, "Fuck, that costs a lot." So yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you more want to look at the internet? Internets?
Do I want to? I thought the regionals would be the smart way to go.
Depends what you.
This is the thing we need to talk about because I don't know what's what. I know regionals, that's it. And then there's new things, and everyone's like, "Oh, and don't forget the World Championships." Like, "Oh, fuck that! I didn't go to them." So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Say that, but TPCI is rather heavily involved in organized play. I'm also involved in organized play. Use safe words.
You say that, but TPCI is rather heavily in. Is that true? Am I completely wrong? Am I talking about my ass?
There's a solid chance you're talking about your arse. On this particular subject, I don't know, but generally. I'm kidding, Mo. You do great. You do. Everyone's doing research now. It's like, what's going on?
No, I'm chatting with somebody.
What? But it's like, oh, I hate this game. I keep dying. Also, Murdo distracted by chat from other people.
Yeah, because I hate this game. It's bad.
It's not, Murdo. It's not a bad game. Don't be ridiculous.
I'm kidding.
You're just a wee crybaby. I have to make you like a safety blanket or something so you can take it out with you when you go exploring.
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Oh, your little safety net. What we need is to get you a bloody some enchanted boots that let you bloody fall a bit further. Rather than damage. And Joe and I had those on for ages. We kept fucking just dropping off that church on the old floor. It's great fun.
Of my church?
No, the good church. Hey Murdo, Seth Rollins is a face now. How do you feel about WWE?
I mean, I like Seth Rollins.
I caught up on the top 10 today, just of Raw and SmackDown, just because I didn't have much else to look at, and I just stayed. Christ.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the thingy midgip's gonna be interesting. The what do you call it?
Royal Rumble?
Yes, that's one.
The thing we were doing every year. What is this thing on? Mostly from the judge side of things, got to make sure your staff are certified, and making sure the events are run correctly. Certification. Is that a cat scraping at the door? Oh. Okay. Goes back to the Sims. Fucking disturb me, you ass. Hey, can I get a Sims report for the stream?
I'm married to 30. Easy.
Progressive?
That sounds like a scam, but
Nah, that's fine.
Be like.
Okay, so
I
basically,
like it.
you married someone who was absolutely into this inheritance scam. Cool. Ideal, really. Have you told her about the inheritance, or are you just hoping that she never finds out? Okay, interesting. Alright, Kay is out there making business moves, I guess. Good, well there we go. There's the Sims report, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. But how do you feel about this new segment?
That's great. Perfect. You should play The Sims Busting Out on PS2.
The Sims are busting out on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, it's a good game.
But no, I'd like to leave the retro games to you, if that's okay.
Tim, you're a coward. Did you know that?
Why am I a coward, Murdo?
You don't even want to play Sims Hit and Run.
What? When have I ever expressed a desire to play The Sims Simpsons Hit and Run?
But it wasn't that one poster you had.
I've watched you play it, and I got all I needed out of it.
Did you actually watch that back
Of
then?
course I did. I fucking watch all your streams.
Did you pay attention? No.
Oh?
Okay.
When you were a child, okay, yep. Last week. Last week, yep.
Oh gosh.
See? You have somebody with positive connotations to the video game.
You have positive communications to the video game. That doesn't mean anything to me. Not mine. I played Guitar Hero instead. That's how I got through my life. What? I didn't play video games between the ages of something and whenever. I don't know. I don't even know what I did most of my time. I played a lot of GTA. GTA was my job. Yeah, I went out quite a bit. I'd say until I was like Warcraft age, I didn't really play that much in the way of video games, probably. RuneScape and Warcraft. Oh, and Fable. I love Fable too. Basically, if it's a fucking RPG, send it my way. Fable's the best. Hey, it's Chicken Chaser. Order a Chicken Chaser. They all sound like that. Great. Me and there's somebody I work with who I don't really talk to all that much. I can't tell if he actually likes me or not. But every so often we bond over a alright Chicken Chaser, because it's fucking just a hilarious accent. Never gets old, the Birmingham accent. What's going on, Chicken Chaser? Kay hates the Birmingham accent.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she comes from a place that says Luke instead of look. So. Yeah, but the people you associate with say Luke.
Luke.
Teachers that come from Stoke. Yeah. I work with loads of people that say it like that, and every time they say it, I have to hold my breath so I don't laugh. Fucking hilarious. When I say book instead of buck. Book.
Do we have storage of food somewhere?
Not one that I've started in the main base, but there is one in the first Ecodome. I cooked a load of stuff. I've also got a bow that fires fire arrows, so when I kill animals, it just cooks the meat. It's pretty tasty. Efficient, Murder. You'd love it.
Yeah, I love efficiency. To be honest.
I've heard of you and your efficiency. Trying to make an efficient fish joke, but I can't quite get the words together.
Yeah, I mean, as Alpha said, yeah, they do certify the judges and stuff. Like, you need to do judge tests and stuff like that, and there's like judge seminars, I believe, as well.
Is there a Judge Judy?
And no, maybe. Yeah, and they give like guidelines, but I'm not sure if there's actually somebody from the company present at the tournaments.
Well, when I go to my first region, I'll just yell, "Anyone here from TPCI?" And then one guy from an insurance company will pop up and go, "Hello." I don't know what his insurance company's called, but it's something insurance, obviously. Trader partner chicken insurance. Not come, Murder. Why does everything come with you? God.
You are what you eat, Liv.
You are Murder. You don't even eat it though. Who's
How
providing it for your consumption? You tell me, Murder. You tell me
There's
so
stores.
quickly.
There's stores, Liam.
You,
I'm not renting out my supplier.
No, that's for people who can't have children. That's not fair. You can't have that.
I'm not ratting out my supplier. All I'm saying is there may or may not be a very friendly man called Pablo in Colombia.
The may or may not.
He has some good stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Fucking Pablo. I'm a joke about the guy who was in the closet. I always used to call him Fernando.
What?
No, don't worry about it.
Alonso?
No, not Alonso. I don't think I was
Liam,
at the time making the joke. What's up?
In about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm not sure about calendars, time, we're gonna have releases of the new cars for the Formula 1. Are you excited?
Yes, but I'm angry at Mercedes.
Oh, what's up?
They did that thing where they did an announcement for an announcement. It makes me mad. They're like, we're going to announce the date of our announcement on Tuesday. I'm like, tell us on fucking Tuesday then. I do not give a shit to actually have something substantial to tell us.
You gotta get excited for the announcement. Man.
Don't have to, Murdo. I don't have to.
I'm
already excited about the announcements. I'm like, oh yeah, the cars getting released. That's pretty cool. When they do shit like that, I just want to throw them off a bridge. A very high bridge. A high bridge engine, if you will.
High bridge engine.
That's today's joke. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you later. That was a joke, just. Shut up, guys. Alright, come on. I'm working hard. I'm tired.
Test, seminars, background checks. Background checks? They do background checks for jurors? For fucking judges?
Gotta do those DBSs.
Am I not allowed to is there more, like, is there higher requirements to become a judge than buying a gun in America?
I'm gonna hazard a guess and say yes. It's easier to get a gun than to be a judge in America.
That's positive about that's a positive thing about one thing and bad for another thing. You decide which is which.
Alpha did not appreciate that joke, and I think he's about to lay into you.
Alpha lives
in Queen. Yes.
Alpha literally lives in America. He knows that, right?
Hey, he lives in America. Have you seen all his photos on Discord?
They're mostly food. But
yeah, right?
Pretty much only food.
My man's living the life.
I mean, so far I'm not that impressed, to be completely honest.
Really?
Like, there's nothing like that I couldn't. The only things he showed off were steaks. Like, I can have a steak here.
Yeah. Also, steak is just not. It's B tier at best.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the hype behind steaks, to be completely honest.
Hey, I'm just gonna quickly make an addition to a list I have running to do a certain video series. Meat.
Oh god.
Nothing. One of my I've barely started this list. I have another one, so I don't know where it is. But basically, I've got 2 right now for J-Ro. One is the cuts and meat, and 2 is PTCG expansions based on how cool they sound.
Oh god. There's so many expansions, you know that, right?
Yeah, it's alright. I've got time to make a video. Tomorrow is it?
Actually, the cuts of meat remind me of like my favorite meme, like pretty much my favorite meme. It's the one where it's like different, like how cooked they are. It's like rare, well done, and then it's like charred and says congratulations.
But no, before you do
You
anything,
remember that?
Yes.
What's up?
There's this chest up here. This one.
Yes. Yes.
There's so much iron in there. Please use it to make armor and weapons.
No, I can't wait.
Yes, but there are more requirements to becoming a judge than there are to purchase a firearm. I had to take a test and submit to a background check. I also, outside of Plague, have to renew my certification yearly and have to run / judge a number of events to maintain them. There you go.
I see. That's cool.
I'm glad you're doing your due diligence out there, Alpha. I'm sorry, Murdo. I felt the need to mock your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're a horrible boy, Murdo.
Wow.
Man's burping on stream and's like upset that I called him horrible. Please to explain logic, thanks.
Logic.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you ever amazed that you're allowed to drive a car?
Because I'm me, or
No, just in general. Cause like I sometimes sit at the traffic lights, and you know, while you're just daydreaming and getting ready to go, I forget which pedal is which. It's such fucking muscle memory at this stage. And I was like,
yeah.
There's somebody out there who checked a box that said I was okay to drive one of these legally on the road. At any moment, I could kill people with it. How did that happen?
I mean,
Just amazes me.
for me, Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, it's a whole different story. I like cars. Like my favorite genre of video games is racing games, and I do love cars.
I really thought you were going to say favorite genre of vehicle is cars. I prefer trucks myself.
Top 10 vehicles. Number 10, the omnibus.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I love cars. I don't agree that everyone should have a car. I think that is just way too much. And I get why it happened away. I mean, capitalism, but I don't think, like, if you really think about it, that you don't need it. But the problem is, right, it's a bit of a give and take, because I think in nowadays society you do need one, because you lose so much time of your day working. So you need, like, you don't really have the time to spend on using public transport, because it just takes so much time, like, because you spend so much time at work.
Yeah, my favorite example of that was when I was living in Stafford, working in Telford. It's a 45-minute drive, which sounds like a lot, but, you know, compared to a bus journey of like it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. I suddenly realize how much better it is to be able to drive it. So I was like, you know, I was finishing at 5, getting home at like 5:45, 6 o'clock at the latest. I wasn't getting home until, because of, like, you know, whatever else was going on, fucking 8 o'clock a lot of nights, because, like, not having a car, because it was broken. I had to, like, get it fixed and stuff. It was fucking horrible. There's your example. As crazy as it sounds, I don't own a firearm. Hey, good on you.
Good on you.
Good on you.
I mean, I don't think that a majority. I think the whole gun thing in America obviously is a bit, like, out of proportion, with, like, just as a joke, as a meme.
Yeah.
I do think if you go out in, like, let's say, like a very red state, like, I don't know, fucking Kentucky or something like that has, like, fairly lax gun rights, then there's still not, you're not gonna find a gun on every person, or, like, not even on every 2 people or whatever. Like, I assume you'd more be like 1 in 5, 1 in 10, maybe. Depends. Like, I don't think that many people actually own guns. Obviously, if you own one gun, then you own most likely you own multiple guns.
I think the image, or the problem with the image, is, like, the people that have guns gather with other people that have the guns. So when you have a group photo of all those people, you're like, oh, fucking everybody in America owns guns. That's like 0.1% of, like, the actual population. Not that low.
I mean,
but you know what I mean. It's like, it's not a majority.
No, absolutely not. Because, like, obviously, it's not in all states where it's like that lax. But yeah, I mean, I guess what throws it out of proportion, or, like, what makes it so alien for us to see, like, people with guns at all, is because in Europe you just don't get guns as a private person. That's not the thing you get.
Are we counting the Scandinavian countries? Because don't they get given one in some degree?
Don't think so.
I'm sure Vladdy mentioned something about that. Like, one of the countries
would be Sweden then.
I don't know if it was Sweden, but I'm sure it's one of the Scandinavian countries. It's part of, like, the military training you have to do. You get given a gun or some shit like that. I can't remember.
I mean, I know that Finland has pretty high, like, pretty big military thing. Switzerland has something along those lines. Sounds kind of right, but I'm not. Oh, I found diamonds. Good job. Yeah, I'm not sure. I could look it up. Well, let's work. Alpha says, we have the super loud gun nuts that everyone sees and goes, yep, that's the average American. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just so bizarre. Like, all the like super conservative Americans, because it's just such a parallel society to what we feel and think and how we, like, see the world. And now it starts to, like, seep over with people with, like, Trumpism coming over to Europe slowly, and anti-vax movements and stuff like that. It's slowly, like, sloshing over and getting traction here as well. I'm not sure if it's also in England, but, like, it's definitely in Germany.
I can't say it's anything.
What?
I'm not saying it's anything I've particularly noticed.
I mean, conservatives are a bit, like the Tories are a bit strange, aren't they? Like
None of them are telling everybody they need guns. That's the one thing.
No, I don't mean like I meant like the general Trumpy behavior, not specifically guns. Like
we don't do a lot of things. I don't think they're doing that kind of thing.
I don't think we have much in the terms of like a movement to get guns legalized. I don't think we have that in any country, like period. Not even like not only not Europe, but I don't think anywhere in the world there's like people that want that, to be honest. But I'm not sure. Maybe there's like some country in Asia or whatever. I'm not sure.
Guns are for powers that can't afford them.